Sticking with politics, we've got Border Force staff are going on strike for 8 days. 8 days over Christmas, thanks very much, affecting some of the biggest airports, including Heathrow, Gatwick, Manchester and, of course, Birmingham. Yes, the officers are taking action. They're responsible for checking all the passports as people arrive back into the country. And this, of course, is just one of a growing list of strikes hitting travel, hitting passengers who are being told, basically, for example, next week, don't bother travelling on the railways, it's a waste of time, even if the strikes are called off. How does that work? But that's not looking likely, as tonight, yes, the RMT union has said a resolution is further away than ever. So, as we head into a winter of serious discontent, the Prime Minister, bigging it up, trying to talk tough.
Hard-working families right now in this country are facing challenges. The government has been reasonable. It's accepted the recommendations of an independent pay body, giving pay rises in many cases higher than the private sector. But if the union leaders to continue to be unreasonable, then it is my duty to take action to protect the lives and livelihoods of the British public. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, since I became Prime Minister, I have been working for new, tough laws to protect people from this disruption.
I mean, it's extraordinary. We always hear this tough talk that people want to hear from senior Conservative politicians, Prime Ministers. It's like that with the, with the migration stuff. And we know that basically they're never going to do anything. No one believes any of this stuff in the moment. It's like the dying days of a tragedy.
Except we've got 2 years of
Well,
it.
we've potentially got 2 years. But that's my question is actually, we've got all of these different unions striking. Are the unions quietly, secretly, getting together and say, we've got an opportunity with a massive winter of discontent, essentially to say the country is ungovernable and therefore to try and force a spring election for a failing government?
And that, that may be the plan, and maybe it's not the worst plan we've ever had, because, I mean, if Rishi Sunak
Put us all out
says...
on misery, right?
Yeah, he says that he's, talking tough and he's been working for a resolution. Bro, you're taking ages. Like, the strikes have been going on since September, since August.
Oh, way before
Railways.
that, wasn't it?
Actually, let's list who's not on strike. I think that would be a shorter
But
list.
We're not on strike.
Just us.
But do you
at
think
this
it's
point.
increasingly vindictive? I'm not sure the public actually support these. Particularly that one at the Border Force. I think is bitter. It's vindictive. It's really not fair for people who have saved up all their money, who are going on holiday over the festive season, the first time they can get away, and of course it's going to be thwarted. I'm not sure people are on the same side. And if you look at the latest YouGov poll, particularly over the RMT, people are very, very unhappy about that.
I also think
with the Christmas Eve one. Christmas Eve
That's
was really
awful.
good.
That's right.
Yeah,
and there are some things where actually you can bring in the strike busters. It's different, obviously, for example, if you've got sort of medics and ambulances, but actually sitting there at a desk looking at passports coming in is not the toughest job in the world. And I wonder, at the end of the day, they're entitled to withdraw their labour, but equally, if they do that, then if he wants to talk tough as Prime Minister, he could say, well, I'm going to bring in alternative labour to keep our critical infrastructure moving, to keep people moving. And I suspect there are a whole load of people who would volunteer to help to keep the country
Well,
moving.
Europe was telling us there's 5 million people who are sort of economically
I am
active,
indeed.
right? I mean, are they capable of going to work? Because they should. I mean, they might as well use these people in one way, shape or form. Same as people who can drive. There might be people who can drive ambulances, mustn't there?
They're being paid to sit at home, so why not pay them to sit at a desk and look at passports?
Exactly right. And also, the unions need to remember they got a salary throughout COVID. Many private businesses did not. They did not qualify for furlough. People have really, really struggled. They took bounce-back loans. They're still trying to pay them back. So actually, the unions have had a pretty nice job of it during that. It's actually made me very angry. The fact is they're now holding families to ransom.
Well,